Launch a browser and log into your AWS account. Click on Services and locate the storage under storage S3. Click on the S3 and click on the Create Bucket orange button. Give some meaningful name to the bucket. I'm going to use the code school as a name to the bucket, and you can choose the region according to your need. I'm going to keep it as a default. US is that's the default region for my account. In here, block all public access, uncheck it, and check the last one, which is for cross-account access. Rest of the things will be unchecked. Make sure you check the acknowledgement and then click on create bucket. It will finish up quickly. So once your bucket is created, you will see the successfully created bucket with the bucket name. This is the bucket that I have just created. So once your bucket is created, click on the bucket name, and then you will see nothing here. So next step is to click on the upload and upload two of the files basically, which is going to be HTML. One is index.html and second one is error.html. So I'll click add files. I have something which is already prepared for this demo, and I'll be sharing these all this information which is required for the uh, project to complete. So I'll be leaving them into the description how you can download and get it to complete it. So don't worry about it. I'll show you the contents as well. So this is like a basic HTML. I'm going to upload two of the files which is required to create my website using S3. So these two files that I have selected, and I'll let them upload, clicking the upload button. Upload has started 50%, 100% done. So these two files are something that is already uploaded. So I'm going to make them publicly available. So mark them as a make public. And once these two are public, then you can click on one of them and take this URL. You can copy this URL and open a new tab and put this. This is wrong URL. Looks like it's not copied. So I'm going to just paste again, and there's the URL. And this is website basically. So what I have created is a very basic HTML page, which has the HTML, which contains a basic information about this website, right? So this basic content. So same thing inside the error.html. If you see error.html, there's a page which we would like to display when there is website not accessible, right? So the moment we do not have access to the index.html for some certain region, then we'll throw this page out, right? So we are good with the content wise. I'll be sharing both of the files. We'll leave the link in the description so you can directly download it and then you can use it for your project. Definitely we'll be enhancing this too on the go. So right now this is very basic pages and we are going to enhance it further into the next step. So let's take baby steps here. Now going back at the bucket level, I'll select the bucket over here or click on the bucket link and come back inside, and from the properties click the static website hosting, this option, and use this bucket to host the website and give the names of the file that we have uploaded. So we'll call it as same name what we created, the HTML files, index.html and error.html, and we are going to just save it. The service is enabled now. Just to test this quickly, let's click on static website hosting and copy the endpoint from here, and let's Test that our website is up and running. Awesome. So the website is up and running. Now we can see our contents are coming using the endpoint given. Next step is to create the Lambda function. So let's locate the Lambda function from here. Say Lambda. Once the Lambda function window opens, then you can click on the orange button, create function. And we are going to let the default settings like this. Only thing is going to change first is the Python. So we are going to stick to the Python version 3.8. So we'll take the latest one and we'll give the function name. Lambda function name is hello world function. We'll just click on a create function and this will take some time and it will take us to the editor where we can uh, keep our code of the Python to as a Lambda function in here. So if you see the default handler is created for us. So what we are going to do, we are going to replace it with the one that I have prepared already. So I'll leave these details in the link and the description how you can get them for project steps to complete. I'm just going to copy it from my local file to here. So I'll just replace it with the handler that I have. So in this handler, I'm not doing much. This is all basic function right now. We'll revisit and develop it with the dynamic functionalities. So right now I'm just going to complete the wiring and then come back and then develop the functionality. So this Lambda function handler is going to just take the two variable parameter as an event, first name and last name, and then return the as a combined name to the website or caller with the hello from Lambda as a prefix. So let's test it. We'll click on the selector test event, click on the configure test events, and in the event, we are going to just put this data set, which I'll give you the data point as well. These are all minor data. So you're sending the same event parameter, which is first name and last name. So you can have a foo bar. I'm going to give the event name as a hello world test event. And then click on create. Click on the test now to see the result if everything is works. So in our test program, we can see this is the response that we are receiving. So the Lambda part is, as of now, fine. We can just finally save our Lambda function, whatever the last changes that we have made to make sure all the changes are there. Let's move to the next part or next step where we'll create the API gateway to call this Lambda function. So quickly click on services and then click on API gateway. Let it load, and then once it loads, then we'll locate the REST API and click on the orange button build for REST API. Uh, since it's a REST API, we have already selected that, and then click on new API, give API name as a hello world API, and from the endpoint type, we can put it as a edge optimized. It will cache the responses for static informations. Once you click on create API, the API will be created. Let's click on actions by having the forward slash selected and click on create method. We'll select the post. Okay. And from here on the post, we'll let the Lambda function be selected. So that's the default option, and we get our Lambda function here. So if we type, we'll see our Lambda function name and save it. That's all we are going to do over here in this window. All right, so next thing we'll target is to enable the course. It's a cross-region connectivity for having the client in a different domain and server in a different. So we'll go with this default settings. We'll just click on the enable course. We'll just say yes, replace existing values. We'll wait for the steps to complete. Next step is to deploy and test. So we can click on the deploy from the action, deploy API. We can say new stage and give a stage name as a div and then deploy it. All right, so click on the save changes and copy this URL. This is ready and we can test this. So it should be invoking the Lambda services. So what we're going to do is we'll just take this URL and hit it from the Postman to test it. I'm just launching the Postman. Once Postman is ready, I'm just going to have this URL set over here. And in the body part, I'm going to have first name, last name, right this way and hit it. Let's see if we can hit. Yes. So this is what the message we get back from the server Lambda function is hitting using the API gateway. So API gateway is successfully able to send our request to the server and the serverless launches the Lambda function and then it runs and gives the response as we can see here apparently. Let's move to the next service, which is DynamoDB. So we need a table. Let's click on DynamoDB from here. Once the DynamoDB service launches, click on Create Table. Give a table name as a Hello World Database and give the primary key as a ID. Rest of the things we can leave as it is. Click, and then we'll see the table is getting created. We have to wait for the table to get ready for us. So now it is ready. This is something we required ARN while we are giving the permission to the Lambda function to access this table and hit the queries. So if we need connectivity from Lambda function, which is our Python program, to access the DynamoDB function, we have to allow this ARN access to the Lambda function. So we'll be using the IAM service to allow this create a policy and allow the Lambda function to use this, right? I've just copied this ARN of this data table that we have created in a DynamoDB. Let's quickly move to the Lambda function, Lambda once again, and from the Lambda services, we'll configure the IAM policy for this. So click on the function that we have created in a previous to previous step. Click on the permission tab over here and then click on the role. It will open up in a new tab to IAM basically. And in here, you click on the add inline policy and click the JSON, switch to the JSON mode, and then quickly take the permission that I have locally composed and kept it ready for this, which I'll again put it in a description link, which you can use it. So here, whatever the link of ARN that we have copied in the previous step from the DynamoDB, that has to be replaced over here. So you have to replace this part and then say review policy, give some good name over here to this. So we can call it as a hello world Dynamo policy, and then create policy. And you will see this policy is created and your policy is over here. So we are good. We can close this tab, come back. So in here, let's go back to our configuration and then see our Lambda function in the editor. So replace it with another developed version. So I have done all the basic development of the stuff in a background, and this is what you have. So I'll be keeping all this as a link to download. So in here, what I'm doing is I'm creating a DynamoDB connection and then uh, connect keeping the reference of the table that we have created. So we given a name as a hello world database, so same name. And then I'm having some kind of timestamp generated. And what I'm doing is I'm taking this first name and last name, the last Lambda function that we were doing. So same thing, but that last function has capability of DynamoDB connection and then doing the put operation. So this is like updating the item or inserting the item into the DynamoDB table with the ID as a name. Name is like a combination of first name and last name, and then greeting time, which is the now parameter, which is nothing but the date and time parameter, kind of timestamp, which I'm concatenating together over here and then putting it in the database. So this is what the next new Lambda function is going to do. I'll just save it. If you want, you can run the test. You can click on the test and the last test event that we have created. So the same data will be used. You can see your test results over here in the top, and you can see the same program. Only change happened this time is the data has been stored into the DynamoDB. So let's quickly verify. So while we ran the test, the DynamoDB was supposed to receive our um, basically the tables. So here we are expecting one item entry. So this is our test data. So the first name, last name together as an ID and the timestamp for the greetings. So that's what we have here. Great, fantastic. So we have done the almost all the steps. The final thing is we have to put our developed HTML page, which is index.html, with the dynamic calls, which is going to be JavaScript with the capacity of calling the RESTful web services to hit the API gateway and match whatever the architecture diagram we were looking into in the very first view of our slides. So just get into the S3 bucket now and upload the final version of our index.html. One more upload, which we are going to replace the older file, older version of HTML, which we can look at it as this way. So in the properties, let's see what we have right now. So if you remember this very basic website that we got, and quickly we'll come back to the overview and upload, and then final version of the index.html, which is here. and we say just upload. We don't need to change anything. It's the same thing. Only thing we are going to modify is once this upload is successful, you select it and then say make public. So you're going to make it public once again because by default everything is restricted on access. So you have to allow the access. And this time, this is the final moment to test. So if we refresh it, we see the different website now. Wow, it's a cool. So then I give a name as a first name, last name, Neeraj and Kumar, and then call API. And then we should be able to go and verify. It will end up in a DynamoDB dashboard where we can see in the table, our table name is Hello World database. The item should have the new item with the last name, first name, which we created. So this is the information that got persisted recently, right? So that's the end of our test. Just to quickly have a look on what we have into the index.html. So here I have some of the changes for you. So this is a script, a JavaScript basically, which is handling the backend call, which is invoking primarily to API gateway, which we created. And this is certainly leading to the serverless, which is our Lambda function. And Lambda function is having those data saved, persisted inside the DynamoDB table. So this is the whole project which we have completed. And that's the end of whole mini project. So hope you enjoyed and hope you got this all working for you. If not, then please leave me comments. If you enjoyed it, then also leave me comments. Thanks.